America. This is DrMikeSevilla live for Wednesday, July 30, 2014. It is 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And here at Family Medicine Rocks World Headquarters, it is 64 degrees Fahrenheit. That's right, in July. So what is this about? This is creating conversations about family medicine, social media, life, whatever comes up. And joining me tonight is our good pal, Dr. Jerry Tolbert. What is going on there, sir?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Hey, it's cold, but I'm not complaining. I'm not, a lot of people are complaining. I'm like, hey, it's cool, it's comfortable. I like it.
Well, here at the Southern Annex, it's actually about 73 degrees. That's actually, I was just looking at that when you mentioned your temperature. So it's a little more temperate here than up north in the frozen white wilderness where you are.
So, for those of you who are keeping score, this is show number 2, and we want to give people a big shout out and thank you for the 5 people that listened last time, including you, Mom. Appreciate that. No, we got about 20, 25 views. I mean, only 5 of them are mine. So those other people are some other people. So big shout out. Thanks everybody for. I can't believe people actually want to watch us, Jerry.
The fact that anyone would think we were worth watching is actually an amazing thing, and I hope that we are worthy of that adoration and that time that people are spending. So, because I'm sure they could be doing a whole lot better. There's a whole lot better you could do with 30 minutes, but nowhere would you have so much fun with 2 heroes of the 80s like us.
That's right, man. Thumbs up to you, my friend. So we're gonna do something different. We actually have a list of stuff to talk about. That's the limit of our show prep. We're raising the bar just a little, not too much, just a little bit for you people out there. Why? Because I'm a giver and we're givers and we do all this for all of you. And I like seeing myself on TV. So there you go.
And I get to be a pirate again because apparently I guess it's the lighting. I have non-incandescent bulbs. I have a couple fluorescents and some LEDs and stuff. So I guess that's what's causing this to happen because nowhere else in my house does the one lens get darker. I don't know why I'm a pirate, but
it's just really meant to be, And we got some comments on that, and some of them were appropriate, some were inappropriate, but all of them were funny. So we will, Pirate Jerry. That's going to be. Your nickname, I don't know.
Yar.
Yar.
If you haven't noticed, like my lower third here has a yet another 80s reference, and that's we were talking about this pre-show. That's going to be my thing now. I think that's going to be so. Everybody that tunes in when we do these, they're going to get to see which 80s reference I'm representing that week. So I think it's a thing now. You're not supposed to be able to make a thing without other people making it a thing, but I'm making it a thing.
Oh, and the bomb behind you is still counting down.
That's right, still ticking, and it's actually accurate for those of you that can read binary. It is the time is right.
Can you give us a little close up of that there, Jerry?
Yeah.
Or is it,
it's on a tether, so I don't know how close. Let's see. Yeah. All right. How's your binary?
It's awful. If we were a real show, we would put the little sound effects for the 24.
Oh yeah.
But we're working on some sound effects and other high tech stuff for all of you out there. Soon as we get a sponsor.
Well, that would help, but I'm actually looking right now, even on my own.
Oh no! Shh! No, we can't do it. We need your donations. We might crowdfund this.
We should start a Patreon. I bet we could get like $5.
Exactly.
and that would come from that would come from all, and that would have to come from all 25 people. That wouldn't just be from one person.
Yeah, we would split it out. I put in 250 and you put in 250.
That's right.
So okay, so Mr. Mom, I totally ruined the segue that you gave me right there
It's
because
true.
I'm not a professional.
It's all good.
Uh,
You're just burying the lead. It's not a problem.
that's right. That's right. So our first topic, that we're going to talk about is as you people know, Jerry's a writer, and well, I don't know if he's a writer, but he wrote something, and it has
Ouch.
the best title that'll drag you in. It is called Oh Baby, when what happens when a family physician's family expands. So explain this to me, Jerry.
Well, first, I can't take credit for that. That was, I'm pretty sure that was David Mitchell that works with the Academy that came up with the title. I wrote the article, but he came up with the title. My title was way, way funnier, but not as clean. No, I'm joking. It just wasn't as good. But yeah, it's a, so the blog is something that we've been doing. We do a new physician blog called Fresh Perspectives, and it's all of the volunteers that came forward from the new physician group, the subpopulation of the AAFP, the American Academy of Family Physicians, and we're doing a blog on a regular basis. Each one of us contributes an article. They have sort of a schedule that they put together, and they publish these articles that give a perspective from new physicians about different practice topics, whether that's what type of practice you want to be in, or what life is like for a brand new physician and how do you adapt to that. And so for people that are maybe coming into that group, so resident students, or for the folks that have passed through the new physician caucus and are no longer there, that doesn't make them old physicians, it just makes them experienced physicians. They are able to see kind of our perspective. My most recent post was the Oh Baby post. Sorry, I'm trying to see. Friday the 25th it came out. You can access that at, wow, that's a really long URL. We need to start using URL shorteners for our show notes. But anyway, if you go to the AAFP website, aafp.org, and search for Fresh Perspectives in the search bar, it will pop up that whole blog, and you can read the whole back catalog. But mine's the most recent one. And it's all about the fact that my wife is getting ready to have twin girls here in just a few weeks. So she's at 33 weeks. She'll be 34 weeks tomorrow, actually. And so we're really excited and had some adventures. And the article was actually slated to come out a few weeks from now, originally, first part of August. And there was some scheduling stuff that came up, so they had to post it a little early. So it's a little bit. It was a little bit precognizant. I had written it before we really went to buy the van, and so my adventure tonight, which is kind of another segue here, I wrote the article about how we're getting ready to expand from a family of 3 to a family of 5, and all of the challenges that go with that, all of the things that we have to now buy 2 of because there are going to be twins coming into the family. And so we went van shopping tonight, which was an adventure. I had forgotten what it was like to buy a car. I had forgotten that it takes 15 minutes to discuss something, and then another 30 for them to discuss it with someone else in another room where you can't see them. So we spent about 3 hours doing something that would have taken about 20 minutes if I did it online by myself. So I was a little frustrated by that, and I almost didn't make it for this. So I was really chomping at the bit to get out of there. We had a few moments where it was looking a little iffy, and luckily for me, I guess you could look at it that way. They didn't have the color that my wife wanted. My wife wants I believe that I don't even know what the official name of the color is. It's blue basically, for those of you keeping score, and it is a pretty blue. It's about the same blue as my shirt here, but they did not have one. Nor did the other 2 dealerships that are affiliated with this dealership have one of the model. It's a Honda Odyssey. Not to plug them, even though if they do want to give us money, I'm more than happy to take it. The Honda Odyssey van that in this color blue is apparently a very much rarer model than I expected. So we had some fun there. But they're going to have that for us tomorrow. So gotta love the internet.
Yeah, exactly. So the lesson here, as far as the minivan goes, is to just buy it online. Is that what we're saying?
At least have that. I don't think you can get out of the system, just like any other, kind of like medicine, just like any other entrenched, large-scale economic operation. There's a way things are done, and we do it because we've always done it that way. And you can see my air quotes if my video is up. We do it that way because we've always done it that way. And that's how it works. I wish we could do this online, but a lot of the places won't let you do that. And there's we can talk about that at another time. But even this whole idea with Tesla and Tesla selling their own cars and having their own internet sales in certain states. New Jersey blew up. The guys that the car salesman said, New Jersey, you know what? You can't sell Tesla directly to your customers because you have to have a dealership. You have to have these guys that are getting middleman, prices. So I understand the system. I understand that it's an entrenched system, and I understand that people, have a job and have to make money. But I just get frustrated by the fact that they're really kind of obfuscating the whole process when I know exactly how much the dealer, the manufacturer of the car says the car should cost, how much each individual piece and part should cost. I know there's wheeling and dealing that can be done, but I don't like to. I'm not a horse trader. I have friends that have done that in the past, and I have friends that are very good at it. I am not one of them. I walk in, and if you don't have what I want, I'm done. If you do have what I want, then I will talk to you, and I will offer you a fair market value for it. And if you don't want that, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to. I either want to buy it or I don't, and I want to leave with it or without it.
I want to give a big shout out to our good friend Zimosaurus, I think, who is watching us on. I think our only person that's watching us live. So
That's
a big,
awesome.
big shout out to them.
That's awesome. Yeah, she was the topic of our conversation last time. So she needs to get all of her friends that were just on that conference call for the national conference to tune in and keep an eye on this.
Exactly. Yeah, we're talking about Jerry's essay, and it's on AFP.org. The Fresh Perspectives, New Docs in Practice blog, I guess, is what it is. And just to kind of diving in this a little bit, I mean, you talk about about a new child coming into the family and having all the sleepless nights, and that you already had that already, and it's kind of a unique thing for especially newer physicians. There's some of those unique type of things when it comes to not even having twins, even just having a child, during those first few years of practice, and it can be pretty stressful. And I guess you can kind of reflect on that a little bit just with your first child. But it's just been, you probably had questions about that as far as how do you kind of balance all of that stuff.
For sure, it's that question of how do you take something that is already incredibly time consuming and add something else that is already time consuming to a finite amount of time, and everybody deals with it. It's like I said in the end of the article. I'm not the first one to do this. I'm not the best one to do this. I don't know it all, and I think one of the things. And I really do think about this. This isn't something I just said as a soundbite. One of the things that I learned from family medicine is know your limitations and always know that you can go to somebody who does know if there's a serious question that needs to be answered. I have lots of friends that are pediatricians. I have lots of friends that have raised lots of kids. I'm the oldest of 6, so I've got a really good resource. In fact, I have twin brothers that are 15. So I have lots of good resources to go to if I do ever get stymied. The other side of it is, if you look at everyone who's on the planet right now, there's some people that got messed up by their parents, but the vast majority of us made it through and are moderately well-adjusted individuals, I guess would be the way to put it, without a whole lot of major issues that we got from our parents. There are hang-ups that we have that we picked up from other places, but and that's not to downplay. There are definitely problems in parenting that can happen, but from a standpoint of our first daughter she'll be 2 in October, and she's got some hang-ups, and that's great. But she also has, her own personality, and she is her own person already. Even so, there's an element of if you keep your head on straight and don't overreact to everything that happens, and try to be a good parent, it's really hard to not be a good parent. If that makes sense. I mean, I think that sounds kind of trite and soundbitey too, but it's still, that's kind of how I feel about it.
Yeah, and kind of bridging to getting to our second topic is that I'm real excited about the annual meeting and the scientific assembly, which I want to give a big shout out to. That's going to be in October 21 to 25. And people should check it out at afp.org/assembly. There's an app for the meeting. I've already got the app. I've already put my profile in there. So people just friend me up on the Assembly app. And this is, you already mentioned it, but just kind of put a point on it. This is why you're not going to DC in October. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, I really want to be there. DC is probably one of the closest that we've had in a while, so it would have been an easy trip for me. The problem is that it is falling at a time where I'm not going to leave Sarah with a 2-year-old and 2 1-month-olds. It's just I would not be able to come home. If I went to DC, I'd have to stay. I'd be living in DC. Yes, I would be living there. So I have decided that I don't want to live in DC. I do want to come home, and I do want to see my wife and children, so I'm just going to stay here. I will be there in spirit. I will be following Twitter. I will be following on social media all across the board. In fact, there are lots of bits and pieces that I'm going to be contributing to some things that we are working on that we haven't really revealed yet that are going to be something I really watch closely because I am excited about it. There's some really big kind of fun social media-esque things that we've been able to participate in over the last year that I really want to see the outcome of that. I want to see where it comes to where the rubber hits the road. And so I will be there in all but body. So I'm going to transcendentally meditate my way there. No, I'm excited too because this is a year where things are changing. I mean, we got the Future of Family Medicine 2.0. We've got, Patient-Centered Medical Home is finally putting out some solid data. We've got the partnerships with IBM that are bringing forth information from Watson and other places that are just really cool from a tech head perspective. There's a lot out there that is a really exciting thing. I'm also excited about the transition to direct primary care that's occurring in a large scale now. We were almost 3 years ago now, I had opened a direct primary care practice with my dad, and now it's becoming sort of a mainstream method of practicing. And I'm excited about that. That's something that I had never expected. I knew it was going to be big. I didn't know how big. And so the fact that there's a focus on that and that that's actually a viable thing is a great thing. I'm excited about all of those pieces and parts. And we've for a long time that has all fallen under this FM revolution heading. So I am excited.
And if you weren't going to be so busy, we could even have a Google Hangout update. But
I tell you,
you're going to be a little busy during that time.
I will, but we could do that because I've got I could hold a baby. I could even feed a baby while we're doing this. So my daughters could be internet famous before they're even able to walk. That would be.
Oh wow! Well, we'll talk. We may have a daily DC update. I'm already having the theme in my head of me calling in from the undisclosed location.
That's right.
To the northern or southern command.
You'll want to have like a hoodie and some dark sunglasses, and like everything behind you should be black. So even if you just take the bedspread off the bed of your hotel and hang it up on the wall behind you. So that it looks like you're in a cave or something.
We'll work out the details. So next topic is this weekend. So I'm very excited. So our state, the Great Buckeye State, we're going to be having our annual meeting of the Ohio Academy of Family Physicians. That's going to be coming up this weekend in Columbus. So you can pay attention to it on Twitter, especially on Twitter. We're using the hashtag OhioAFP. You can get more information at ohioafp.org. And I may not be tweeting that much because for some reason the staff in Ohio has asked me to do a lot of stuff. Probably because everybody is doing maybe is called in sick or they're maybe having fun doing something else. But I'm gonna be doing a lot of stuff. So just to kind of outline things for people because I'm very excited about this program. So it starts on Saturday morning. And Saturday morning, I'm going to be the moderator for the Saturday morning session. So I hope to be tweeting some of that stuff. And the first topic is going to be Ohio's Comprehensive Primary Care Initiative. So, or CPCI, if people are familiar with that. So it's basically, kind of piloting or kind of showing an example of what a new type of healthcare model would be. And we're going to be talking a lot about that. People can get more information at the Ohio AFP site. We're going to be having some speakers there for that. It's going to be a very quick hour, hopefully some Q&A. And after that, we're going to be talking about the big, huge topic of pain medicines, what people might know as narcotics or opioid prescribing. And every state's going through this. We're going to be having some interesting speakers on that. We're also going to be talking about the future of family medicine 2.0 project. So if you're on Twitter, or even if you follow me on Facebook, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff, updating all of you out there. And what Ohio is kind of doing this year, which I think is very cool, we're going to be trying to take questions from Twitter on some of these topics. They're actually having a Twitter board right at during the session. So if something messes up, then it's going to be my fault because I'm the Twitter guy. So please no spamming of the hashtag. Now I know as I say that I'm dead because it's just going to be all over the place. But we really want to try to make this interactive with people who are there at the meeting, who are away from the meeting. So I know, a lot of other states have tried to do this, and we're trying to do it nationally. Ohio, I'll be honest, has been a little bit resistant to do some of this stuff. So I really want to try to give them a positive experience on two-way conversation as far as Twitter goes.
If anyone can do it, you can. That's for sure.
And then in the afternoon, we're going to be having a business session. They've asked me to be the parliamentarian for that. So I'm not officially going to be throwing people out, but I'm going to be asking people to be thrown out. So don't mess with me, even though I have virtually no power because I am the parliamentarian. I may be the parliamentarian and the sergeant at arms at the same time. So I may be pulling the, you're out of order, I'm out of order, this whole place is out of order.
That's exactly what you need to pull. It's going to be, you're out of order. I just said that we're opening business for an open business session. No, you're out of order. Sit down.
Exactly. So, and then hopefully I'm going to be elected an officer, but maybe after this session I will be not doing that. So hopefully that's going to be fun. And then Saturday night is going to be our awards dinner, and that's going to be fun as well. So it's going to be a whole very cool weekend. I love doing stuff with the state. I mean, the state of Ohio, the Ohio AFP, the OAFP really gave me my first leadership opportunities as a medical student, and it's really cool trying to give back a little bit and trying to get people in Ohio excited about different practice models, talking about CME, talking about different resolutions and policy making. Saturday coming up. Pay attention to Twitter, hashtag OhioAFP, or at DrMikeSevilla. We're going to be, it's going to be a good time. I don't know if you guys have had your state meeting yet, but it's always a good time for us. Always a great time to get together with old friends, not old friends, friends I've had for a long time, and to make some new friends as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, Jerry.
Yeah, I kind of wish that I could be there. It's not as far away as some of these other meetings. Definitely not as far away as DC. But because I'm just right across the river there. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be a part of it. But I do look forward to hearing what comes out of it, because the primary care initiative, CPCI, I guess, that was something that did reach across the river to us. Had I had more Medicare patients at that point, I had even considered becoming a participant in that. So it was a really neat project. So I hope to hear all of the good stuff coming out.
I'm going to be taking liberty here, and we're going to be going past our usual 30-minute time limit because we have some other stuff to talk about. So before Jerry talks about this cool project that he just put it up on his Facebook, Facebook page yesterday. So I want to give a big shout out to our friends at the National Conference of Family Medicine Residents and Medical Students. Their meeting is coming up a week from a week from this weekend, or next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend. That's like the worst advertisement I've ever done for that.
That's happening somewhere in the future,
Somewhere in the future.
10 days, something like that, I guess.
Exactly. So, and yeah, they're going to be having a good time too. They have an app for their meetings, so if you're going to that, check out their app. And their hashtag is AAFPNC. And I know I will be following from afar. I will not be able to attend in person, but I know that they're going to be having a good time. And as we talked about on our last show, Jerry and I have a lot of memories there, none of which we can repeat on the air, but it was a good time when we were there. So I know it's going to be a good time this year as well. So shout out to all you residents and students going to that meeting. Have a good time, and tweet about it because I want to be there.
That's right. Tell the world.
So Jerry, so tell us about that. I saw this on your Facebook thing yesterday, the Fall Mouth Project. It sounds like a movie or something like that. Can you enlighten us on that?
Sure. So Falmouth is the county seat. Yeah. See, I'm country boy. I'm from Kentucky, remember? So it's Falmouth.
Right.
There is one in New England, but this is the southern Falmouth. Falmouth, Kentucky is the county seat of Pendleton County, which is where I grew up, and there's a small rural community there, about 15,000 people or so, that has had a lot of different things happen over the years that have really impacted the city. In 1997, there was a flood there that really wiped out a whole lot of the businesses, and even lots and lots of homes. More importantly, homes. So there were a lot of residents that had to rebuild or left and didn't come back. Since that time, for the last 20 years, there's been a lot of languishing. So a lot of 17 years. There's been a lot of rebuilding. So there are a lot of people that stuck it out and worked hard and chipped in and kind of rebuilt. There have been a lot of people that, because of the damage, it was so great that they couldn't afford to do that kind of thing, and so they ended up leaving. So there's been a lot of turnover in the city and a lot of change, and it's been difficult to take the community resources. There are a lot of people that are doing a lot of stuff in that community, and the people that need those resources or that could utilize those resources best and putting them together. It's been kind of hard. There's been a disconnect. And so one of the things that I was really interested in growing up was coming back and doing some type of community building, community outreach, community health projects. And I have a focus in I have a 97% of a master's in public health, and so a lot of community-sized projects are things that I'm interested in. So I really wanted to push into that area, and a couple of years ago I got a chance to sit down and talk with the mayor of Falmouth, and he was interested in bringing in urgent care. I told him that we probably couldn't really support an urgent care monetarily with 15,000 people just because of where the city is. So it would be better to have just a real physician's office. I said I couldn't really do that at that time, and I still can't, but one of the things that we talked about was I could definitely put together some type of evening time free clinic that ran a few hours each night. And so that's where it got started, and since then it has ballooned, and we've got all kinds of other interesting things that have come into play. Quite a bit of community involvement going on. We're trying to involve as many people that live in the community as possible. So the idea is it'll be a place where people can come for free medical care, or for no cost medical care, basically, without having to fight through. There's not any selection criteria or anything like that. It's just going to be a clinic, and people that need it can come use it. And the idea was, how do we make that available to the most people and make it useful? We also talked about putting together services and people. So there's this idea of, well, we have a location now, which is awesome, and we're getting ready to close on that building here toward the end of this month, toward the end of August. So the idea is that building has a lot of meeting spaces. So if there's a group that needs meeting space, or if there's a group that says we want to come in and the community really wants us to, or needs somebody to teach a class about how do you interview for a job, or how do you manage your money, how do you eat healthy in a place where it's an agrarian community. There's tons of farms. So how does the food that you take in and the food that you supplement with food from the grocery store, how do you mix that together to make something that's really healthy and still tastes good? There's going to be space for people to come in and do that kind of stuff. There's also a lot of a chance to come in and do things like community gardens and co-ops for purchasing produce and doing stuff. So there's just all kinds of ideas being thrown around. Great communication and great ideas from the community, as well as great ideas from some of the folks that are on the city side, so city government, county government. So it really neat chance for a lot of people that have a lot of different talents to come together and work to improve community health, which is really cool to me because that's something, like I said, that I've always been interested in. So.
And you've had some community meetings on this already, and it seems like
Yep.
you've gotten a lot of response to this. And I know that that there's a website and there's a blog post. I don't know if there's an easy way to direct people.
If you go to furtherfalmouth.org, it's FurtherFalmouth.org, and that's Further Falmouth. That blog post, there's a button at the top of the main page that says blog. If you click on that, it goes to that blog post if you want to read some of the history.
Cool. And what stage is it now? I mean, I know it's in a planning stage right now. And is it? You guys have more community meetings coming up on that, or?
There's nothing scheduled yet. We're still working on getting the closing on the building done. Once that's finished, there will be sort of a ramp up, a very fast ramp up. We'll be doing some construction stuff in the building just to remodel a few small things. The building itself is actually in really good shape, so there's not going to be as much of a construction project there. We'll be getting it ready, all of the documentation and stuff for the clinic, for the free clinic part of it, for the low-cost clinic. And then we'll be able to, at that point, be able to provide health services for folks pretty soon after. We're looking at 60 days after closing, trying to have something up and running 1 day a week. So that'll all be coming up, and I'm going to try to do weekly posts on the blog to make sure that there's something updated there each week when we get new information. And like I said, we're still working on getting the closing of the building all lined out, but it's moving forward very after having 2 years of it not moving forward very quickly at all, at least in terms of what most people would think of as quickly. It's now finally going to be landslide speed. It's going to be very fast. So yeah, there's a lot coming up, and if you check out that Further Falmouth, anybody that's listening that's interested in kind of seeing how we're doing it or has suggestions, there's all kinds of ways to communicate that stuff.
And that's cool. I mean, that's something that this show can kind of follow because I know it's very exciting. I mean, people, always ask me and ask in general as far as how do family docs, or how do doctors or how do anybody can kind of get back to the community and work together with local resources and local officials on how to take care of the public better. And it seems like that something like this has been in the planning and talking stages for a long time for you and your community, but now it seems like things are starting to come together, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, agreed. It's really exciting to see it finally starting to come together. Since it's been a significant dream of mine to do something like this for close to pushing 20 years at this point. So I'm excited to see it finally starting to come to life. So yeah, it's neat.
I want to give a big shout out to my Facebook friends, Dave. David, you know who you are. He leave a comment on the YouTube page, so I know you're watching out there. And so yeah, thanks a lot for that. So I always struggle on how to close like some of these things, whether it's a serious thing or a funny thing. So I'm going to do something really different here. Jerry doesn't even know I'm doing this, but I'm going to read this crazy story at the end, kind of as a big uplifter and a funny way to end the show here. And I've done this on the radio show before. It's just kind of funny, odd little stories that I like picking up here. So I will get my newsreader voice out, and I will read this story and get Jerry's commentary on it. This is from the Associated Press. This is from July 29. This is a real story out there. The title is "Dad Accidentally Delivers Baby into Toilet." That's right. This is from West Haven, Connecticut. A Connecticut baby has arrived with a splash right into a toilet bowl. The baby's father, David Davis, tells WVIT-TV that he was forced to deliver the newborn in the bathroom of his West Haven home Friday morning after his wife, Lily, went into labor. He says the baby slipped through his hands during the delivery, but luckily went into the water.
Luckily?
He says she began crying, and it was the best sound he's ever heard. Davis says the couple has gone to a hospital earlier that morning, but had been sent home, probably by an intern, after it was determined that the wife was not ready to give birth. She began feeling strong labor pains. A few hours later, Livia, is her name, Livia weighed in at 7 pounds, 6 ounces, soaking wet. So, we have to find out what the residency program there is in West Haven, Connecticut, and there's probably some residency director probably cringing as they're hearing that story.
So, yeah, really. So did they mention at all how was this baby number one? I didn't hear it in there when you were reading it.
There was none of those details in there. There's none of that.
I mean, if this was baby number 12, I'm surprised the mom even had the husband around when the baby was being born. I mean, she would have known how to do it all by herself at that point. If it's baby number 1, I could understand. Baby number 2, maybe. Baby number 3, it doesn't surprise me at all. So I'm kind of, we need more information for this story. I want to dig deeper. And the problem is when you start digging deeper, you find things you don't want to find. So I'm.
I am looking at the link from the NBC, our NBC affiliate. And let's see.
Careful, they'll make us pay royalties. Don't say that.
That's right. That's right. A station that sounds like that.
So the Sin Tweedy.
That's right. That's right.
Sin Tweedy.
So yeah, really, really interesting. So
I can say that I've delivered babies in some odd places, but never into a toilet.
So you heard it. You heard it here first, there, kids. So that's all I got here this evening, Jerry. It just kind of flew by again. We have like 15 different other stories that I could have went to, but I know the audience out there, all 2 people that are watching, are probably tired of us going on and on and on. I don't know if you have anything else for us tonight there, Jerry.
Not at all. We covered all the big things. Just furtherfalmouth.org if you're interested in that. Keep an eye on the Fresh Perspectives blog for the new physicians if you're interested in that kind of perspective on medicine, especially family medicine, for physicians that have been in practice less than 7 years. Lots of really good stories in there. One that I would recommend if you're whatever level of physician, whether that's med student, pre-med, resident, whatever. There's a great article by a friend of the show, or at least friend of
friend of the show. Why not?
We'll call him a friend of the show. About sorry, I just had a total blank there. About a oh my gosh, I totally forgot what I was even saying. Okay, I was talking about the Fresh Perspectives. That was horrible. That was bad TV. Sorry, anybody.
We'll edit that out in post.
Now we have 2 people that aren't watching. It was a post about mental illness and mental health in physicians, and really it worked for anybody. It wasn't just about primary care physicians. It was about people, and that's a lot of what these blog posts are about. How to, as a person, how do you what's the personal side of being a doctor? What's the stuff that is going on that everybody would be dealing with, that you as a physician have that different perspective on? So it's a really neat blog. And so if you haven't checked it out, I would check it out.
Cool. And from my perspective, I'll be in Columbus this weekend, and not only at the Ohio AFP annual meeting, but the Dublin Irish Festival. I hope to
nice.
Go there. They usually play it the same weekend. So hopefully I'll be out there tweeting or Facebooking or whatever. So hashtag Ohio AFP at DrMikeSevilla, as you can see down there. So thanks everybody who watched us live. Really appreciate it. That's what keeps us going. And of course, the people that watch it afterward. And we're working on the technical things here. Maybe a mixer, or maybe some kind of music, or maybe some kind of something or other. But we need your donations. Give now, and give often.
Yeah. I was trying to come up with a song off the cuff, and I'm just not. My brain's not moving that fast, as you can tell. So
we need more. We need more pre-show prep. do this.
Well,
So, but if you have any feedback, any good feedback, please give that to us. Any bad feedback, you can keep it to yourself. It doesn't really matter. Uh, anything else you got for us, Jerry? And we'll close this thing up.
I got nothing. At Dr. Tolbert on the tweets. Check out I would say check out my blog, but I haven't written on it in about a year and a half, so don't check out my blog. That would just be embarrassing. And keep your eyes on the horizon, just because it looks cool for me to point at my camera, because my arm looks huge.
All right, kids, that's all I got here. So till next time, kids, this is Dr. Mike Sevilla reminding you, family medicine rocks. Bye.